Tony, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Just listed off a bunch of stuff that you have going on, but I want to go back to kind of what happened this Tuesday and what's about to happen this weekend. Spin the wheel, make the deal. You have a tables, ladders, and scares match, but and we saw what happened to the family, and we can touch on that a little bit. But
hmm
what made you request this stipulation for the match? It can only be won by pinfall. Seems like you had an advantage with the ladder. So why did you go this extra step?
Well, look, so let's just say we kept it the same. Okay. Run up the ladder, grab the title. I can, a win's a win, but I don't feel like I'm beating him, especially after what he did on Tuesday. Tied me to the ring and made me watch. I'm 99% sure that this guy had Rizzo taken out. So I want to rub some more dirt in the wound. I want to make it clear that you do not do those kind of things to the D'Angelo family. You know, and that's it. I just want to rub more dirt on the wound. I want to hurt them and make it clear to everybody that I'm beating him.
And any update on how the family's doing after after what we saw on Tuesday? Is there a chance that they'll be with you on Sunday night?
Look, I told them to take care of themselves right now, and I'll handle the business. As their leader, as their boss, I need to prove to them and show them that I can handle stuff without them. I
Mhm.
mean, a true leader, you know, um, practices what they preach. So if I'm gonna sit here and order them around, and I need to put a hurting on people, especially to the guy that did this. He needs to pay. He needs to be hurting just like they are right now. So, Oba's got it coming to him.
You're new in your title reign. You won it about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, Oba has kind of dominated that title picture for a while, but
hmm
what kind of champion do you want to be? Like we saw the celebration and then we saw the other end of it this week, but what kind of champion do you want to be? Like record breaking? Do you want to like have certain title defenses? Like what comes to mind when you think like Tony D, NXT North American champion?
I think I want to prove to a lot of people out there who don't necessarily think I was the guy for the job, or whatever they might say. I want to prove all of them wrong. I want to be a dominant champion. I want to be a great champion. I want to make sure that this the lineage on this title stays intact, because there's a lot of people that came before me that are doing great things now. A lot of big names on the list. So I want to keep the tradition alive, and make sure there's no doubt in anybody's mind that you know Tony D'Angelo's supposed to be a champion.
And obviously, the move to the CW is going to give you uh, a new audience to get in front of. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that also I feel like has worked to your advantage is you've gotten a lot of segments outside of the PC. Has
Yeah.
that helped you develop more as a complete character compared to maybe some that don't, and it's strictly like you see them more in the PC versus what you are able to do?
Absolutely. I think that's part of what separates me from the group. It makes me different because of who I am and what we're about. It allows us to do different things than the typical, in front of the, some door, or in the PC, or in the parking lot. Like, not that that's bad, but I just want to bring something different and separate myself. So I think, uh, like you said, it allows more character growth, especially, you know, me as Tony D'Angelo. I think it helps explain and dive deeper into, you know, uh, what part of being the D'Angelo family really means. So I think it's great.
And we've all, sorry, we've obviously seen a lot of big names coming through recently.
Yeah.
Seen CM Punk, Randy Orton, The Miz,
hmm
uh, and Shawn Michaels is there. I saw you recently sung his praises as far as how he's been able to help you. But is
Mhm.
there a name that you'd like to see cameo in NXT from the main roster, if not just for a chance to learn from them? Maybe not, people think like, oh, when a main roster person's going to come down, it results in a match or a feud. Is there anybody that maybe you don't want to conflict with, but you would just appreciate some time to, sit and learn from?
Absolutely. All the top guys in the SmackDown and Raw. I would love to have them come down and pick their brain and see what they think about what's going on in NXT. I think as far as feuding with, I mean, I could give the classic answer with Roman and Cody because they're the upper echelon. But I would love to pick their brain though. I've talked to CM Punk. I've actually talked to Cody Rhodes a little bit. He's a nice guy. And really nobody that I've had run-ins with in on the main roster has really been you know, they've never shut me down when I ask questions or
Mhm.
ask them to watch my match. I mean, Seth Rollins was there probably I don't know how long ago, but he was there. I just asked his opinion on a few things, and it wasn't long, and he didn't, make us think about it. I think all those guys want the product to be in good hands and the future to be in good hands, so they want to help, bring up the next crop of talent. So, um, I would love for any of them to come down, and even the guys that aren't wrestling who were, like an Undertaker, or whoever. I would love to have them down and just pick their brain, and if they want to feud, we can feud. You know, I'm open to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh, what one more thing I wanted to ask about your feud with Oba Femi before I move on to some other questions, but
Mhm.
it felt a little bit like uh, this has maybe been inspired by Rocky, like maybe Rocky 3, but it
Yeah.
are those similar? Is that, was that intentional or is that just a huge coincidence that it played out like that?
I think part of it was coincidence and then turned into something else.
Mhm.
Which I'm okay with because I love the Rocky films. I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. Um, funny enough, when I was doing amateur wrestling in college and high school, I would listen to the Rocky Four soundtrack to get, just get me in the zone. So to really pay homage to Rocky and Stallone, like I thought it was great. I had no problems with it. Of course, he's the Italian stallion, so who doesn't want to do that, Who doesn't want their own Rocky story? So I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, paying homage to the legend. Happy to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, I wanted to move on to what is coming up, not to look past Halloween Havoc, but
Yeah.
one of the big events coming up for NXT, it was just announced going to the 2300 Arena, the ECW Arena.
Hmm.
Uh, ECW's been known to have some Italians in the house, some full-blooded ones. Uh,
Absolutely.
you are the next generation. Tell me about, getting a chance to work in that arena, that environment. What are you looking forward to? Do you have any plans yet?
Um, you know, I don't really have any plans, but I think it's to smash somebody's head in. If they want it. Who knows? After this Oba match, I might scare the rest of the roster. But I think it's great going into that arena. So much history is going on, wrestling history. I think it's cool to share the same arena that all these legends have, been in and went to war in. And I think I think it's pretty cool to be the next generation of the Italian group and representing a culture. I think it's great, and I would love to you know keep it in good standing and uh, you know bring the Italian culture to more than just the haha spaghetti and meatballs pizza guys, like I want us to be, not that they were, but sometimes it can turn into that, and I don't think Italians appreciate it all the
Mhm.
way. So I mean, I don't. I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, I want us to be taken seriously. I
Mhm.
want us to be real contenders. I mean, there you go. But I think it's cool going to that arena and competing. It's going to be great, and I'm honored to be have my name etched in the list of wrestlers that got to be in that arena.
Yeah, and I'm not Italian, so like I could say, oh
Yes.
yeah, that's funny. It's poking fun at them, but you're
Hmm.
on the other side of it. So obviously you want to be seen in a certain regard, especially as a champion and
Right.
as a superstar. You don't want that
Hmm.
you don't want that stereotype to hold you back. You want to, in some ways, you want to improve on it and build on it. So
Right.
I respect that.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I I don't really care, to be honest with you. Like, whatever. Yeah, you know what? I do like pizza. I do. I love spaghetti and meatballs. I love everything Italian, like
Yeah.
it's whatever. But if you want to make fun of it, it doesn't really bother me. But I just want to uh swing the narrative a little bit into what the, I guess, norm would be.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
You
Mhm.
want to show people it's more than just that.
Right. Exactly.
Generally, what do you want people to talk about more? And I know, I mentioned a couple of things you have going on. Uh, you've done quite a bit in the short time that you've been in NXT. You're North American champion currently, tag team champion. You won the Heritage Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, anything that you feel like deserves a little bit more attention?
Well, I think obviously, I think my opinion, when fans hear the name Tony D'Angelo, they immediately attach it to, you know, Italian mob, which is fine. I'm proud of all the character work, and I do work really hard on that stuff. So I think it's great to be recognized for that. But I think, my in-ring work doesn't get enough. Uh, I'm not going to say praise. I don't want to be praised, but I guess recognition
Hmm.
for the things that I can do, and the athlete that I am. I was a Division I collegiate um, athlete, so I can go if I need to, and I do. I leave it all in the ring every time. So I guess that, but to be honest with you, I'm not really concerned with everybody else's opinion. I'm just concerned about getting better myself. I know what I can do. The boss man knows what I can do. And hopefully through my work shows everybody that I'm the full package.
Bring it around full circle a little bit. We started talking about Halloween. I have another Halloween related question. Do you have any favorite Halloween traditions that you like to celebrate or that you
So
had as a kid?
absolutely. So my family was big in Halloween and decorating the house. Well, apartment. But um, you know, they every year they would add something. And my dad is really good at building, woodworking and stuff like that. So he would just make these immaculate. He made a castle one time just out of plywood. It was crazy. But and funny enough, our house. I, I don't know how old I was, but made the news for one of
Oh,
the
nice.
best houses in the town. So
Mhm.
we would have, it was a tradition every year. We would decorate the entire house. Everybody, I lived in a two flat, so me and my family lived upstairs. My grandparents lived on the first floor, and then they renovated the basement to basically another apartment. And then I had my aunt and uncle and cousins living down there. So we had a full house, and
Mhm.
everybody had a role. One year I was a werewolf, and my dad was Mike Myers. Somebody was a big bat. It was great. It was a um, great part of my childhood. And I'm actually, I'm interested in, building myself. So I would love to keep that tradition alive, once I
Mhm.
start having kids and whatnot. But yeah, I love Halloween. I love the whole everything about it. It's fun, and then the kids come and get candy and take pictures and whatnot. So um, definitely uh, pretty cool time of the year. And I like fall.
Mhm.
So, it's football weather and, pumpkin pie, apple pie, my grandmother makes the best apple pie. So,
Mhm.
whenever the time comes, I'm looking for it.
Yeah. I'm finding out myself that woodworking is difficult to master. I just was working on my laundry room and trying to make everything fit. And
Yep.
I respect anybody that can do that to the scale that, you're talking about. But
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely not there yet, but like you said, it takes some practice
yeah.
and some time for
All
sure.
right. Anything else you want to plug or promote before we close things out?
I would like to say, if you are not doing so, you need to. This Sunday, Halloween Havoc. It is going to be me, the North American champion, Tony D'Angelo versus Oba. Watch it on Peacock. It'll be in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Um, there's going to be a lot of car crashes. So tune in, please. And thank you for having me, Bill. I appreciate your time.